Well, hello and welcome to my video today, which is Saturday, and it feels remarkably like the weekend. I am here at Project Nigel headquarters, where I shall be making a video from somewhere else, but not to start with, because I have a couple of minor things to deal with here, such as having chili for breakfast. Just on my way out for a collection of parts. I'm on my way to see someone called Wendy. Yes, that's right, Wendy. Wendy Craig Mansley, to pick up a starter motor, the car known as Rhiannon. This has the initials KD, well, I mean the first two letters of the registration. I am tempted to give this car its own little Project Nigel code name. KD. Yeah, not KD Lang, but KD something. Ah yes, perfect. Kirk Douglas. You know, it needs a push to get going, and it needs a hip operation. I wonder if Rhiannon's a Welsh name. Here's a thought you won't be expecting. This Rover 45 called Alfie is an absolute pleasure to drive. Well, you know that obviously it's going to be, isn't it? But it's just occurred to me how much better suited it is for driving in like kind of cross-country roads like this, as well as, you know, town, because it's very comfortable. But the handling's excellent. I'm not pushing it or doing anything irresponsible with it, but it's just superb. And so much better than what Nigel is. Last year, I took Project Morris, the MG ZS, out for a proper good blast, and I was actually amazed. I was amazed that I didn't realise how well the car could handle. But I did find myself coming to the conclusion that if you've got to do something like that with your car, like basically drive it like a nut job to properly appreciate it, then it's kind of a bit pointless. This, on the other hand, the Rover 45, and maybe it's just this one, I don't know, it's like the same thing, but comfortable as well, and looks nicer. And I'm only just realising what's going on in my head here. How come I didn't know this before? Surely the last thing you would ever expect me to say is that I'm surprised by how good a Rover is. But it is. It's just, I always use, although I like this car, right from the off, absolutely loads. And I've never got bored of it. And yet I'm driving it now thinking, this is brilliant, this is better than I thought it was. That's the magic of Rover. That's the magic of the Rover 45, I reckon, is that it's excellent on the twisty roads, but it's very comfortable to drive in town, and it looks fitting somewhere like Uppermill. That's why it doesn't have to be stupidly fast to be ultimately enjoyable. As a Rover enthusiast for a very long time now, it does genuinely surprise me to come to the conclusion that I think the best car ever is this car, the Rover 45. I think it's funny, but I'm also surprised by myself for not realising this before now. All Rover enthusiasts have their favourite car, and quite often it is actually a Rover. Thinking about this, the 45 is probably the best handling of all, as the compromise with the ZS where it's just a bit too hard. This, it handles almost exactly the same. but it's comfortable at the same time. It's better than the R8 for handling. It's a lot better than the 25. It's a lot more durable than the 75, and the 75 doesn't drive any better anyway. I mean, basically, it feels the same, but without the knocks, rattles, and clonks everywhere. The proper oldies like the P5 and the P6 and the SD1, they're good in their ways, but they don't match this at all. And then, of course, it all went downhill with the facelift versions. But let's not talk about that. This video has gone in very much a different direction to what I was expecting. I had no plans on talking about how much I like this car, which is kind of cool really, because it just shows how real these things come about and actually present themselves as something that for some reason I didn't understand beforehand. He's not here. That's strange. He said he was going to be here at 12 and now it's nearly 1. Wonder if he's dead. A strange place, this Upper Mill. It's never empty, but it's like a seaside town. Why do so many people flock to it? Like seagulls flocking to the seaside town. I've just seen a man who looks just like Iggy Pop. I know it's not the real Iggy Pop because he had a t-shirt on. That's got me thinking, what would Iggy Pop wear in the following circumstances? The obvious awkward one would be at a funeral or any smart dressed function. What about if he went to Bermuda? What would he wear for that? How about a fancy dress party? Well, he'd probably just go as himself. What if Iggy Pop was on stage as the pantomime horse? Just got back from Craig's, and now the plan is to fit it. Except that, well, there isn't time now. Simple. There just isn't time. I said I would be at home at 2:30. It's now 20 past. So typical of a Saturday, I guess, to come in with all intentions of doing something useful. I get as far as driving to Mossley and back and eating some chilli and having a bit of chat possibly with Craig. And that's it, time over with. Bye!